Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and welcome back to the CoffeeCast ProCast edition, where I am actually bringing you guys a game today that I actually kind of sought out myself. I was reading a Reddit post recently about a person who went to MLG for the first time. And he had this great experience where he was standing watching some people's games, and he was talking to this other guy that was right next to him, and it turns out that guy was really cool and was also competing and doing somewhat decently at MLG. And thus, I would like to introduce to you guys the blue ProDust player down on the lower left-hand side of the map. It is going to be fLcEifer. And this is going to be Daybreak, and I really hope, I just kind of realized I don't exactly know how to say his name. Whoops! So I really hope I'm getting it right with Eifer, and if I am not right, I apologize. I apologize. And if you want to, go into that story a little bit there, we could have used process of elimination to know that Eifer is going to be the hero of this match, because the other person is Destiny. And if there's anything I've learned, Destiny... You know what, I'm just not going to give any bias here. The person up on the top right side, our red Zerg player, is going to be ROOTDestiny, which many of you guys know. I will just leave it at this. I am not a big fan of Destiny. Oh gosh. That being said, I do feel bad for all the ordeal, the big ordeal, all the events that happened to him recently at that last MLG. Pretty much his moderator went pretty much insane. And I'm just going to go ahead and warn you guys, do not Google that, because you might come up with some disturbing images. Pool is just about to finish up for Destiny. I'm just going to kind of like leave that one on a little cliffhanger here. Google that at your own risk. Pool is just now finishing up here for Destiny. Does not quite have an expansion. There we go. That's actually a little bit later of a natural expansion. I'm kind of surprised to see that coming down so late, but probably just wants to get those Zerglings out in case there is a pylon block coming out of Eifer here. So just playing a little bit safer. Doesn't want to make sure any wants to make sure that any extraordinary play, I will say, doesn't come out of Eifer. Eifer actually doing something a little bit different down here, going for a 1 gateway expansion rather than a Forge fast expand. And this is actually something that I saw first. It was first due against Lenok in the finals of MLG. Oops, spoiler alert! Spoiler alert, I hope all of you have seen MLG, or at least know what happens in the end now, because I just told you who's in the finals. This is something that we saw, I forgot his name, first, do against Lenok at MLG. Lenok was pretty much just rolling over the Forge Fast Expand by going for a very fast lair into Mutalisk. And, I mean, that pretty much circumvented all sorts of defense. So first decided to start going for this gateway first. It allowed him to get his Cybernetics core up a little bit faster, which allows you, of course, to get your Twilight up a little bit faster. You can just kind of get everything a little bit faster is what it comes down to. And it helped him in that early mid-game Mutalisk defense. So we're going to be seeing Eifer do that here. Now, whether Destiny is going to be going for that fast lair, fast Mutalisk, a little hard to say. This is the general opener. We don't have metabolic boost. We just have this 1 gas geyser, and when you use the first 100 gas you get to get that lair, we're going to kind of see if that is what Destiny is going to be doing here. And as far as we can tell, no, it's not. Nope, going for that metabolic boost. There we go. So not going to be going for the super fast Mutalisk. But the point is still there. This is actually becoming a more and more viable opening as time progresses in the game. This is something, I mean, about 2 or 3 months ago, the one gate expansion was pretty much, it was just silly, is what it came down to. It was used a long time ago, back before the Forge Fast Expand really kind of got into full swing. So it's kind of interesting to see this kind of come back around a full circle, you could say. And there is just this awful glare on my screen from the window. I have the window closed, but a little bit of light still gets through. It's just absolutely driving me nuts. I love the Zealot placement from Eifer, putting that in his natural expansion mineral line. This cannon is going to be able to defend against some Zerglings pouring in through here. Now, actually, the Zealot's being moved out, probably to go out and scout somewhere. But that's going to allow, if any Zerglings do get in, these probes over here are going to be perfectly safe from those with that Zealot ordering position. Just kind of minimizes any sort of damage that fLcEifer could take. And also, I want to point out real fast, look at the map awareness out of ROOTDestiny. That is absolutely beautiful. And I would also like to point out, he even had his Zerglings splitting up, so some went south, some went north, just to get full map awareness. Oh gosh, it was absolutely gorgeous. Zerg players, at the very least, get this sort of Overlord spread. You know, have Overlord down there, Overlord in the south. You will find that you will just do so much better in the mid game. You won't get surprised by any timing attacks just by having your Overlords placed around like this. You'll be able to spot probes going out to place forward pylons. Another great place for Overlords up on these little high ground places where you actually have to have an Observer or a Colossus to be able to see up. Those are always great little placements that I love to see Zerg players utilize to their fullest extent. Plus 1 ground weapons, just about to finish up for fLcEifer. Spire now starting as well for Destiny somewhere around here. Actually, where is it? There it is. Oh, wait, missed it. There we go. There is the Spire for Destiny. So we are going to be seeing Mutalisk play. That is something that has become very, very popular once again in ZVP. I mean, it used to be the Zergling at Muta Baneling style, was the ultra aggressive, super fast-paced style that Zerg players loved. And then it kind of fell back. You know, Zerg players realized the potential of the Infestor. They started using Infestor Broodlord Roach combination. And then there's kind of been this awkward point in time where, you know, Infestor Broodlord Roach wasn't really all that good anymore. So, ProCast players really started kind of figuring out how to deal with it. So now it looks like Zerg players have begun transitioning back into that Spire play, getting an Infestation Pit as well. And I actually love the building placement here out of Destiny. It's all these little things that you see the pro players do that a lot of time we never really think about. That Spire is surrounded. Zealots will not be able to get in there to attack it. So if fLcEifer wants to be able to take out the Spire to be able to snipe it, he is going to have to use Stalkers or Sentries, just some sort of range unit. fLcEifer is actually going to be doing this somewhat newer strategy. It looks like, I believe if I'm reading this right, it's going to be this super fast Mothership build that is actually generally not all that great versus Mutalisk. Mutalisk are just so fast that Mothership Vortex really, I mean, not the greatest counter to a big ball of Mutalisks, I suppose. So, ROOTDestiny actually probably looking to be in a fairly good position here. Phoenixes are out on the map to do a little bit of harassment, though. Oop, I only got 2 of them. There we go. All 3 Phoenixes now taken. It looks like they are going to be chasing down these Mutalisks. So the Mutalisks are now spotted by fLcEifer, but 3 Phoenixes not going to be enough to take on 8 Mutalisks unless you have perfect micro. But in that case, you really don't have all that much macro going on. I mean, that would be... What is the range of a Phoenix? The range of a Phoenix is 4. Range of Mutalisk, I believe, is 3. So they just barely outrange them. And let's be honest, that Anion Pulse Crystal or whatever it is, what is that what it's called? Yeah, Anion Pulse Crystals. They're a joke. They were supposed to help Protosses versus the Mutalisk balls, but it really just doesn't do anything. 3 Zealots spawning out onto the map now. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of harassment going on somewhere. I hear Mutalisk attacking something. There it is. I wouldn't be surprised to see a little bit of harassment coming out of fLcEifer. In fact, let me rephrase that. I would love to... I would love to see a little harassment. And actually, I would love to point out the fact that I'm sitting here dissing the Anion Pulse Crystals, saying they're a joke. And what are we seeing coming onto the map? None other than the Anion Pulse Crystals. Maybe we will actually see fLcEifer be able to do some good with them. I actually have not really seen them used, but maybe once or twice in a pro game, and I think that was by In Control before he made a statement about how pretty much it was just a worthless upgrade. However, with a lot of Phoenixes out on the map, fLcEifer is using the Phoenixes to actually counter the Mutalisk, which Phoenixes are great against Mutalisk when in small numbers. But it looks like fLcEifer is actually going to try for a great fungal going out on the Phoenixes. Looks like fLcEifer is going to try for a hard counter of these Phoenixes against the Mutalisk, which the Mutalisk not in massive numbers. It's going to be somewhat effective, except the fungal growth continuing to go down on top of these Phoenixes, and they're just going to get brutalized. Oh my goodness! Getting out at the very last second. That Phoenix, a couple of Phoenixes actually, 7 health left on those. Oh, that was so close. Great fungals by Destiny. Oh, it just so happened that he ran out of energy, it looks like. Oh, gosh, that was such a tough break for Destiny, as he could have had a nice little advantage in that battle there. but was not quite able to pull that out. How is Destiny going to spawn? Well, he's just not going to make any more Mulas. Going over for that Greater Spire. In fact, that was more likely than not his plan from the beginning. Probably was just planning on using those Mulas for a little bit of harassment. So going up to a fairly quick Greater Spire. That's going to be done around that 14-minute mark. That is very, very fast. It's going to be very terrifying for fLcEifer. And I guess what really allows Destiny to do this is the fact that he has so much gas right now. He is up to 4 bases already and fully mining gas off of each and every one of them. However, fLcEifer already on 4 bases as well and cannoning up quite a bit, just has a lot of extra minerals to spend as he is using a lot of gas heavy units. He has Void Rays, he has a Mothership, he has a lot of Phoenixes out on the field. He's getting Storm. He's using gas, but not really using all those minerals. So I love the idea. Just throw down a bunch of extra cannons. That way you don't eat into your supply with Zealots, so you continue to make those bigger units. And you, I guess, just have defense at that base still. This is a very interesting style coming out of fLcEifer. Just a lot of very heavy airplay. It looks like Destiny might be looking to try to sacrifice a little bit of supply to get some more Broodlords out on the field as these Roaches just kind of moving in here. Just even moving, not even really trying to do a lot of damage with them. But in the meantime, there is a Zergling aggression coming over into the third base. Good reaction timing by fLcEifer. Go ahead and lay down a few Zealots there. That's going to be mopped up very easily, as are those Roaches. And everything is just going to be dandy for fLcEifer and Destiny for the moment. Destiny, kind of low on supply, but that's going to get remacroed very, very quickly with those Corruptors. I think he's going to find that the Corruptors are going to be a very, very important unit for him this game, as well as the Zerglings, though. The Zerglings, I think a lot of Zerg players kind of disregard the Zergling when playing ZVP in response to heavy airplay out of a Protoss player. The reason the Zerglings are so great, if you're going for that heavy airplay, I mean, I know this just sounds like super simple and, you know, kind of a dull thing. There's just no ground army. And the Zerglings, while they're weak, they'll be taken out fairly quickly. In that meantime, they will be taking out every single building on the ground and pretty much just decimating everything. Which is what these High Templars are actually probably going to be used for, is countering those Zerglings and being able to mop up a lot of the Broodlings that are on the ground as well. Only 9 Corruptors on the field over here right now. That's not going to be enough. Phoenixes are going to be flying into the main base of Destiny. There we go, now flying into the main base of Destiny. Actually, Destiny was slightly supply blocked for a second there, did lose his maximum supply, and it's going to be interesting. I would assume Destiny is going to pull back those infestors. I would love to see him actually maybe push forward a little bit. Oh, never mind. There's actually quite a bit of air there. I think Destiny's doing the right thing and not going anywhere near that army for the moment. Needs to get some more infestors. Pardon me, corruptors. I always say infestors instead of corruptors, and I don't know why. Definitely is going to want some more corruptors in that army. The fungal growths and infested terrans are going to be very, very important here. Sacrificing his sentries just to free up a little bit of supply. That is something you actually do not see all that often. Corruptors are going to be coming in here. Might be looking to pick off some units. Quite a few Phoenixes over here to help deflect those Corruptors. Corruptors fairly decent against Phoenixes. However, there's just so many Phoenixes en masse here. Plus the Mothership. Plus the Void Rays. Plus Stalkers on the ground. Destiny just does not want to engage into that. Zerglings are going to be running into the 4th base up in this northwest position here, and actually might have a fairly decent shot of taking this out. Only 4 Zealots being warped in here, and there are a lot of Zerglings might be trying to snipe this Nexus. Not a lot of mining going on here, but that's not a big deal, as this is as this was going to be a mining base for fLcEifer, so that's just income that he's going to have to sacrifice in the moment. Not going to. I assume he was going to pull what was left of his probes from his main and his natural over to help mop it up. There we go. A couple of Archons coming into this 4th base to help clean up those Zerglings. 3 weapons on ground already. That is so fast. When you're thinking about the fact that we also have 2 upgrades in the air and pretty much just a massive air army. Where are those? Oh, there it is. 1 Zergling left, picking away at this assimilator. That Zergling does have that attack speed upgrade. Vortex going down in the middle of the map to go ahead and pull a bunch of Broodlords in. However, I don't know if there are any Archons down here. Broodlords are going down, and Infested Terrans are dying very quickly to these Storms as well. Storm needs to go down right there. All the Corruptors were in that army. The Mothership does go down, but a lot of the Corruptors are very, very damaged from the 1 Archon that was in there. If only the additional 2 Archons had been down here, that army would have been mopped up much, much better. However, fLcEifer is still taking a decisive victory in that battle, going down to remacro his Mothership. But, I mean, that's almost expected, at this point in the game. A couple of infestors are being picked up and going to be picked off by these Phoenixes. However, the Phoenixes probably going to get mopped up by these infestors who have plenty of energy left for fungal growth, even getting the observer that was there as well. So, right idea by Destiny, maybe could have used slightly better execution, all those corruptors getting trapped in that vortex, not, probably a little bit of failed control there. Probably could have been a little bit smoother. I'm actually surprised that we don't have Blink on the field right now. As Blink, I mean, there are only 3 Stalkers, but if it comes down to the late game and you need to re-macro your army, Blink is always a great upgrade. In fact, really just both your gateway unit upgrades, the Charge and the Blink, are very nice to have. Looks like some Zerglings are going to be trying to run up into this 4th base once again. They are going to gain access to it, as there are only 3 cannons right now warping in. In the meantime, the Zerglings are attacking the Nexus over actually on Destiny's side of the map and trying to run into the natural expansion as well. Going to be able to pick off a few probes there. Destiny actually doing a nice little bit of economic damage here. The Zerglings up at the northwest corner are cleaned up. However, over in the natural expansion, there are still a few Zerglings running amok. And there we go. Losing a soccer field, not the biggest deal in the world. Actually, might lose a robotics facility as well. Actually, oh no! fLcEifer, where are you right now? You really need to take care of these Zerglings, as they are just doing a work right now. Not doing, you know, ridiculous amounts of damage, but distracting and taking out little pieces of tech here, little pieces of tech here, there, and that's going to be minerals and gas, and mainly the gas, as we look over at the bank, that fLcEifer is going to have to spend remacroing those buildings, as you really don't want to be without, you know, your robotics facility. And the Zerglings actually still going to town over here. There's been almost no response from fLcEifer. He just warped in a couple of units and kind of crossed his fingers and hoped it would work. Warp Prism is coming out onto the map. Looks like Destiny with a large force of Zerglings going to try to push up to this northern expansion here in this 12 o'clock spot. Not going to get in, as the entire army of fLcEifer is positioned to defend that. It looks like Zerglings, once again, just more Zerglings coming into this massive expansion. One Zealot was there. Robotics Bay now on the field. Robotics facility going to be taken out again, probably on the low ground here. And more Zerglings even coming in. fLcEifer is just sitting in the middle of the map right now. What is he doing? I don't even see. I mean, maybe we can get an insight here. Okay, now he's finally going back and defending against that. But lost quite a bit of infrastructure there. A couple of gateways, a couple of robots. Zerglings now coming into this 3rd base, which did still have plenty of minerals to mine. If we look over that harvester tab, fLcEifer actually falling to about 50 harvesters, which is not where you want to be. And a lot of those we can see are not mining, as the income is fairly low right now. So Destiny actually doing quite a bit of nice damage there with that attack. We look over at that workers killed, 46 killed by Destiny. 46 workers killed so far by Destiny. Both of these builds actually could use maybe a few more workers. Just, well, actually, Destiny's probably good because he is maxed out, and those workers would be taken away from his army supply. fLcEifer might want a few extra, just so that once his army dies, he can remacro that fairly swiftly. It looks like fLcEifer is going to be under siege. There are a lot of corruptors on the map. That Warp Prism was taken out. However, quite a few High Templar. That is a lot of High Templar with storming capabilities. Infested Terrans are going to be thrown down. The Broodlords are going to be, again, begin attacking this expansion. Archons are getting up to the front. They're actually holding some of the army back, but going to help mop up those infested Terrans very quickly. And just like that, Destiny decides to go ahead and pull back. Going to be remacroing his Zerglings. And this is a very awkward mix of passive and aggressive play. fLcEifer just kind of waiting for Destiny to mess up with this style of play. I absolutely agree with, as if you lose an army of carriers, void rays, archons, and high templar, there is absolutely no chance for you to remacro that. Especially considering the fact I don't think that there are actually all that many gateways on the map at all. I'm trying to find them all. It looks like we might only have 6 gateways on the map, if I'm counting that correctly. Corruptors trying to move in to do a little bit of damage, maybe snipe a couple of area units. Not going to get that opportunity. Zerglings are going to be running into the main base once again. There is a Zealot there on hold position, and another Zealot being warped in to help him out, because he is not going to last that long against Zerglings with metabolic boost. Zerglings now in the natural expansion, going to be able to take out this Nexus. That's not the biggest deal in the world. However, the Robotics Bay might go down as well, and that's something you do not want to lose. fLcEifer, in the meantime, has had enough. He's going to be pushing out. He's going to try to make something happen here, and has the army composition to do it. A lot of High Templars, a lot of Archons leading the charge as well. And oh, where is the Vortex? There could be so much splash going on here. And meanwhile, back in the natural expansion, Zerglings are pretty much mopping up whatever buildings are there. There's the Vortex. just missing the last couple of Corruptors. However, so many Archons and Broodlords and Corruptors are going to be inside that Vortex. That is going to be major damage. He needs to get a couple of Storms down on top of these Infestatories, as you do not want to lose your air units to that. There we go. Storms going down. Infestatories going to be mopped up. And there we go. A couple of great Storms going down on top of those Corruptors, as well as that Archon toilet flushing out. And suddenly the Corruptors down to half strength and half health. fLcEifer taking a very good position in this battle, going to be able to deny 2 gases being mined in the middle of the map here. Destiny does have plenty of additional bases, however. fLcEifer's going to either need to continue his assault. Oh no, losing High Templars to Spine Crawlers there. That is not where you want to be losing your High Templar. I mean, at least lose them in battle. Due to some, after getting all your storms off, a lot of probes might go down there. No, actually, there is a Zealot here. Look at this positioning, only allowing, I can't even, like, select that properly. Zerglings are actually going to be getting into that main base now, going to be able to start taking out even more infrastructure of fLcEifer. In the meantime, Zerglings coming in to this 6th base of fLcEifer, going to be able to do a little bit of damage here, but these Zealots going to be able to mop up most of the Zerglings, if not all of them. This massive air army has taken quite a bit of damage, but fLcEifer is not done pushing yet. He needs to deny the mining of Destiny so that Destiny cannot remacro his own forces. That is the only place where fLcEifer's strength will lie at this point, is not allowing either player to remacro the armies. Now fLcEifer going, oh, I don't really have that many gateways on the map, and finally going to be able to start remacroing some of those. Zell is being warped into the main base to deal with these Zerglings, going to finally be able to clean it up, but the Stargate does go down, did not get the capsule, so there are some very precious resources being lost there up on the north side. This base is going to fall now, or at least all the probes there have died as well. One Zealot not going to be able to clean up against this many metabolic boosted Zerglings, but Destiny's 6 o'clock base being picked off as well. These players are literally just trading base for base. fLcEifer actually losing both his natural and his third, and his main has actually no home now. There's no place like home. Voidray is going to be cleaning up these Zerglings. I love how he pulled one of the lower health Voidrays to go across the map and help clean that up. This base, is going to fall. So fLcEifer now down to just 2 remaining mining bases, only 46 harvesters, pretty much just 45 harvesters for both players now. Destiny has absolutely no income, though. I mean, he only has just a few drones mining over here at this base, nothing mining at this position down here as this was taken out, just trying to desperately remacro the hatchery and actually losing a lot of larvae due to no creep. That is actually something you do not see all that often. For those of you who don't know, larvae die off creep. You do not get to keep those. If only fLcEifer could pull his air army into the main base of Destiny, he could actually do a massive amount of damage. However, there are 30 Corruptors on the map for Destiny somewhere. There they are. And I don't know if fLcEifer really has the firepower to be able to deal with all of those. I mean, he does have the mothership still, I believe. Yes, so if he does get the mothership Vortex down and does get those Archons into the fray, he could be in a fairly good position. But it's all going to just come down to the positioning of that Vortex. Maybe another Storm or two to deny the retreat of those Corruptors. As those Corruptors are going to fall very, very quickly once they are low on health. One awkward Colossus remaining in this army. He's not doing all that much. Actually, with 21 times 2, he's actually doing quite a bit. I will take that back. I rescind that previous comment. A lot of drones long distance mining, but not for much longer, as his hatchery is just finishing up, and that's going to give Destiny some very, very highly needed income. fLcEifer would be well advised to try to take that out, but I don't know if he's going to be going down in that general direction. Could actually kill a lot of probes that are long distance mining as well, but Destiny is somewhat in position to defend this, or at least to punish fLcEifer for taking it out if fLcEifer does decide to push in, which it looks like that is going to be exactly what he's doing. Infestors are leading the charge, might be able to get a couple of good fungal growth off. Neuroparasite is finished, so actually this mothership could be neuroparasite, but oh no, the Infestors getting, oh no, fungal, pardon me, neuroparasiting the High Templar and feedbacking the High Templar. That is something you do not see that often. Fungal growth going down to help this army as well, trying to get off as many, I can't even say that enough, as many feedbacks as possible to kill those Infestors off, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. There are so many Corruptors left on the map. There's just not that much air left for Destiny, for fLcEifer, and once again, no energy left on that mothership as it was feedbacked by the High Templar, which is going to force fLcEifer to GTFO After, however, taking out this southeastern base of Destiny, once again down to almost no income at this point in time. I managed to miss. I managed to say that the High Templar are feedbacking each other, but I managed to forget to say that they were feedbacking the mothership as well. What a brilliant strategy by Destiny. Instead of vortexing that his own army, decided just to kill all the energy on the mothership, do a little bit of damage as well, but that's not the biggest deal, as there is so much health on that mothership. The mothership has 700 health. That is very tough to take down unless you have, you know, 28 corruptors. That is a lot of corruptors right there, right now. Some more High Templar being warped in right now. Minerals, kind of a hard thing to come by for both players, as is gas apparently for Destiny, who is not mining any right now. He is mined out of every single base, desperately needs to get this base up and running. And, I mean, just both times that it's gotten going, it has just been brutalized. Where is that mothership? It is a little ways away. He needs to stall this army from coming through. There are some zealots in here picking off, I assume, infestors. I can't really see in there, but the Broodlords are going to be able to assist at least a little bit. High Templars need to put some storms down on those infested Terrans, as there are quite a few. No Colossus is left in this army. Fungal growth does go on that carrier, and that means the Corruptors are going to be able to do their work. There is one Archon down here, but he's going to be taken out by those Broodlords. Ivor beginning to look in a little bit bad position, as he does not have that Vortex quite yet. Needs to stall for another 10 seconds. Just a little bit of time left until that Vortex is finished, and that is going to be a big moment for Ivor, getting a couple of nice storms down on top of these infested Terrans. Whoops! Getting a couple of nice storms down on top of those infested Terrans, going to help him clean that up, and Destiny realizes that he was not going to be able to just win a straight-up battle there, and is going to pull back. Where is the infrastructure right now for Ivor? Well, 3 of the buildings are unpowered. Destiny notices this and runs up and is going to be able to start picking off these buildings. That's going to be very, very bad for Ivor, and he's going to actually need to pull his army back to kill these 2 Zerglings. If he loses these 3 buildings, he's going to be in a very, very bad position. He will not be able to make his Archons anymore, will no longer be able to make carriers or a mothership if he loses that. And, whoop, looks like there was a little bit of a pause there. We are back into the game, obviously. That is one great thing about replays, that you do not have to deal with pauses. One sucker is going to be able to clean up those Zerglings. Destiny trying to reestablish this base over in the middle of the map. This one can be a little bit difficult to hold. However, he is soon going to have 4 Broodlords, which is going to help quite a bit against those Archons down on the ground. Just allow force the Archons to be shooting the Broodlings rather than assaulting this base, or the Corruptors, which will be taking out what is left of the air army of Ivor. There is another Colossus back into this army. There is an Overseer. Actually, if this Overseer could get sniped, that would actually be a small little victory for Ivor. The Fungal Growth will reveal those invisible units, but I mean, you have to Fungal Growth the entire army to gain vision of everything you might want to attack. So if I could get that, that could be a nice little swing. Just going to go down for this southeast expansion once again, but this could end kind of poorly. Does he have enough energy for a Vortex? He does, but he is now trapped up there. He is going to be forced to engage the army of Destiny, unless Destiny decides that he does not want to engage Ivor, which that looks like it might be the case. And now Ivor just going to kind of back out here. So, gonna get away once again with a murder. Ba-da-ba! Good song. Going to go ahead and get away with taking out that southeast expansion. Destiny, once again, back to a single mining base. 17 harvesters. Ivor in a very commanding lead right now at 200 supply to the 136. Where is he mining from right now? Well, looks like just this northwest expansion. How many probes did he have again? He has 52 probes somewhere. There's the other base up on this north at 12 o'clock position. However, they're going to be coming in and assaulting that. Going to be able to take this out. Probes are going to evacuate. And probably, well, I guess they can't really go here. I mean, there's some minerals left. May as well take those. Looks like Ivor is going to run up and engage Destiny in this battle. Vortex, oh my goodness, might lose his mothership. Oh, loses the mothership with full energy on it. There's a massive victory for Destiny, and it's going to allow him to go ahead and push in here. Storm is still on the field, however, and that is a lot of power that Ivor still has. And oh no, the Broodlord's lagging behind the army a little bit. Corruptors, there we go, doing a little bit of a double take to just to make sure that Ivor cannot chase those down. Fleet Beacon is still on the field, but does Ivor really have the resources to make a new mothership? Not really. I mean, in fact, even using of that remaining gas to go ahead and make a bunch of stalkers. It looks like fLcEifer is just getting ready for the final push here. Just wants as many directly engaging units as he can possibly get. Some Zerglings are going to be running into this middle base over on the other side of the map. That's not a big deal. Engagement going on on Destiny's side of the map. Storms are going down on top of those infested Terrans and on top of the air army, missing a lot of the Broodlords, but there is going to be able to clean up the infested Terrans, which is going to allow the Stalkers to get right up under there and the Argons to get right up under there and take this army out. Destiny falling below 100 supply, fLcEifer falling fairly quickly as well to this Corruptor fire, but the Corruptors with the splash damage of the Archons and with all of the Blink Stalkers is going, Destiny's just going to fall there. Didn't even need the Vortexes in that engagement to be able to take Destiny out. Beautiful positioning, and that is what a lot of Templar are going to be able to do for you in these sort of engagements when you don't have that Colossus AoE, when you don't have those Vortexes for the Archon toilets. You can just storm everything and really come out almost as well, especially when your opponent, like Destiny, does not split the Corruptors up, does not, I mean, just kind of clumps all of the infested Terrans up as well, which was a major portion of Destiny's AoE, anti-air in that battle, and it just never really got going. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Coffee Break, and thank you for joining me here on the Coffee Cast. This was fLcEifer versus Destiny. And I just want to thank fLcEifer for sending me this replay. I messaged him on Reddit, got a hold of him, and he sent this to me. This is actually hot off the press, just played earlier today. So it's always kind of fun getting a nice little personal replay there. So I want to thank fLcEifer for that. If you like what you have heard, please click subscribe and check out some of the other videos on this channel. I guarantee that there are some really exciting games. I am going on to cast a TvZ between, oh boy, it was I Am MVP and some Zerg player, because I haven't casted TvZ in a long time, so I kind of feel an obligation to go ahead and do that. So, thank you for joining me here on the Coffee Cast, and don't go away, I suppose. More coming up, folks. This is Coffee Break.